It's Becca Newton from the KBIA Newsroom, and it's time for Missouri on Mic. Conversations from Missouri in its 200th year. Shelley Botts spoke with the Missouri on Mic team at the Central Missouri Renaissance Festival in October. A Columbia resident, Shelley raises chickens in her backyard and calls herself, quote, the Hen Wife. She shared stories of her unusual brood and the strong personalities that come out in the aptly named Betty trio. Here's Shelley.
Well, what I do to earn money is I work at the University of Missouri. It's probably the least interesting thing about what I do. I'm very interested in gardening and making things, and my family. I think we're a great place for sustainable farming, for local growing, for people being able to grow food and make products that they can use and share. I have an illegal amount of chickens in my backyard. When my daughter was 13 years old, she reminded me that all of her friends had chickens and we didn't, and she insisted that we get our first 6. That was probably 5 or 6 years ago, pretty soon after the chicken ordinance went into effect in Missouri, and since then I've become the hen wife, the crazy chicken lady in the family. This year, I've gotten a new small batch, and they have really fun names. I call them Banter, Banal, and the Brown Betties. The star of that clan is Crooked Betty. She wasn't terribly crooked personality-wise at first, but she has a kind of a small crook in her neck that makes her feathers stick out. And so that's how she got the name Crooked Betty, and she lives with her other 2 Bettys, Smooth Betty and Nonstick Betty. Nonstick Betty had a number of names, and none of them would stick until finally Nonstick stuck. Crooked Betty is always the one that you got to watch out for her sneaking out. She will sneak out of the coop, and given a chance, she might sneak into the kitchen. When the weather is nice, I might leave the door open, and they're always looking for snacks. Chickens always want the snacks. So she's coming to the house looking for what I might have in the compost bucket on the floor, or see if I might, share some bread with her. Whatever. She'll take whatever's on offer. And the other day I saw her do the most Crooked Betty thing ever. There was a small spider web on the corner of our house, and it was a little high for her to reach, but I don't know if most people know this. Chickens can jump. So she jumped up a few times, and finally on the last try, she got that spider. Banter tried to steal it from her, but it was Crooked Betty's spider, and she ate it up. I'm hoping that there's going to be further tales of Crooked Betty, and I might even write her a poem and put it on some ceramics just to memorialize Crooked Betty, the biggest character I've ever had in my flock.
That was Shelley Botts speaking about the unusual brood she cares for and sharing tales of the unique characters in her flock. Missouri on Mic is an oral history and journalism project from Missouri's 200th year. Thanks to Alice Wiki for producing this episode, and the Burney Sisters for providing our music. For more conversations like these, visit kbia.org. I'm Becca Newton. Thanks for listening.